Giving me an up-close and personal view. And welcome back to the JoAnne Powell Show. I am JoAnne. We are coming to you from the World Center of Broadcast Media, WCOBM, Hollywood. I'd like to welcome you back to our show. We've been talking politics and we'll continue to talk politics through the rest of our program today. Joining me now to talk politics is Preston Foster. He is an associate professor and director of public policy program at Oakwood University. Before we went to the break, we were talking about the significance of this boycott. It's an unprecedented thing. The last straw was basically the war of words between President-elect Trump and Congressman John Lewis, who is a civil rights icon in this country. It just was the last straw for many in the Democratic Party in Congress. And there are more than 50 who are already saying that they're not planning to attend. And there are some in the Republican Party who are just hoping they'll reconsider. Do you think they just don't get what happened, the significance, or what do you think is happening there?
Well, I think that they get it. I think they fully get it. Anyone who's been in Washington for more than 2 weeks understands who John Lewis is, what he symbolizes in America. The fact that the statements happened over the King holiday weekend seem to heighten their effect. So, it's interesting to watch those on the right ask for Democrats to give incoming President Trump, give him a chance, give him respect the office, etc. When those on the left have the fresh memory in their minds of the disrespect that was given and shown towards President Obama. So I'm not one who believes that two wrongs make a right. But we're in Washington and not in church.
Well, one thing that we're seeing on Capitol Hill right now, there seems to be several hearings happening of the picks, Trump's picks for his cabinet. And there are a lot of people that he wants to be a part of his administration a lot of red flags are going up. A couple of them let's just talk about. First, let's talk about Senator Jeff Sessions. He is a pick for Attorney General, and many are concerned about his stand on civil rights issue. You are currently at Oakwood University in Huntsville, Alabama, so you're pretty familiar with what's going on with him because he was the Attorney General there for a while before he went to the Senate.
Yeah, Jeff Sessions, for those in Alabama who are veterans of the civil rights movement or associated with it, represents kind of the worst case scenario for the position of Attorney General. The value of having an Attorney General who's sympathetic to civil rights, one of the values at least is in cases where you have, for example, what is suspected to be police brutality at the state or local level. The only recourse that is there many times is that at the federal level there can be a separate civil rights investigation to see whether or not, in addition to using excessive force, etc., civil rights were violated. If you have someone acting as Attorney General who's shown hostility to civil rights, to voting rights, etc., there seems to be no legal recourse to protecting those who've been underrepresented, or whom are usually the typical victims of what's suspected to be police brutality.
Let's shift gears and go to yet another one of another controversial appointment. That's Rex Tillerson, who is up for the Secretary of State position. And some of the concerns regarding his appointment have to do with his connection with Russia. He is the former chair of ExxonMobil. Interestingly enough, the backstory is that Mobil has the drilling rights in Russia for more than 60 million acres of land there. And the only thing that's keeping them from being able to move forward with this deal, which is basically worth trillions of dollars, are the sanctions that the United States have placed on Russia because of the dealings that they've had with some of the issues in the past. We know a lot of the history of the problems that we've had with Russia. What are your thoughts about this?
Well, Mr. Tillerson is a very substantial person. And frankly, if it were anyone but Donald Trump who has not yet shown us his taxes, who seemingly has a bromance with Vladimir Putin, if it was anyone besides Mr. Trump nominating him, although Tillerson is not necessarily my kind of guy, he's totally competent to be Secretary of State. But given who he is and what is going on with Mr. Trump and Mr. Putin, it just raises, and more than raises flags, it's just alarming to see that it looks like, on its face, just a business deal. As you said, the only way to monetize that deal between Russia and Exxon is to lift these sanctions. Mm-hmm. When these sanctions are lifted, if and when they are lifted, then hundreds of billions of dollars, upwards of perhaps $1 trillion, as you said, mm-hmm. could be realized by Exxon and Russia. Yeah. And so it's just alarming to see America sit by and watch a president-elect who seemingly has an unusual relationship with the head of the former KGB, who has fingerprints all over the interference with the election on behalf of Mr. Trump. And so having all of that on the table, having someone like Mr. Trump who sees no need to allay any of those suspicions is just alarming.
And there already is an ongoing FBI investigation into any type of ties to Russia and President-elect Trump. And there also are a lot of concerns that what happens if this deal goes through, the sanctions are lifted, and actually this deal is going to make Vladimir Putin very wealthy. And I know in past, some of the things that Russia has done, they're trying to rebuild up their weapons stockpile and things like that. So it's something that I think the world is very concerned about. And I know if you are concerned about this, the best thing that you could do as an American citizen is to, talk with your congressperson. Call them and let them know that if you're concerned about this, what your concerns are. We have run out of time in our segment, but I want to thank you so much for being on my show, and I hope to have you back in the near future.
JoAnne, it's always a blast. Happy New Year, and we're living in interesting times.
Okay, well, you are watching the JoAnne Powell Show. We will be right back talking about health care for all.
If you are an adult that began college and has not finished your college degree, let me put it to you straight. If your lifestyle and your standard of living is not becoming to you, then you should be coming to us, Oakwood University Elite Program. We are the fast, flexible adult degree completion program for the busy adult, like you.
Register today. Go to oakwoodleap.com or call 256-726-7098. It's time to leap.
For years, people have trusted McKay's Family Mortuary. We're part of your community and we'll take care of the details. We offer a variety of memorial services, including sea scattering and cremation. According to the Federal Trade Commission, the average funeral cost is over $9,000. We have complete funeral chapel service starting at only $31.25, casket included. Direct cremation starting at only $9.95. Visit one of our 5 locations and meet our caring and diverse staff. McKay Family Mortuary. Let us be the shoulder to lean on.
Thanks to Oakwood University and the LEAP program, I have now a college degree. So to the Spanish-speaking members of this community who feel that the LEAP program is something you should consider, I would say, ánimo a la universidad. Considere el programa LEAP de Oakwood University.
Go to oakwoodleap.com or call 256-726-7098.
Seize the Day Scuba for your best scuba experience above and below the sea. You'll find friendly staff, experienced PADI certified instructors, and state-of-the-art scuba equipment and gear. Join our dive club and we'll help you plan memorable scuba excursions. Immerse yourself. Seize the Day Scuba, serving Southern California. Call 949-220-0500 to create your scuba experience.
When I first started into the program, yes, I had doubts. I was really impressed with Oakwood University, with the faculty and the staff and the student body. It was a really good experience, and I would definitely recommend it to anyone who was thinking about going back and finishing their degree.
Register today. Go to oakwoodleap.com or call 256-726-7098.